Hi, I just wanted to make a quick video about something that has been on my mind for quite a while now, and it is in regards to the current political landscape of the United States. I don't think it's really a secret that these past 8 years have been divisive, to say the least, but I feel as though this current election has amped up tensions in the US to a concerning degree. We've seen an unprecedented amount of political division in this country in just these past few months alone. Division that I can confidently say hasn't been this prominent or aggressive since the days of the Civil War, which is a horrifying notion to even consider. And I think that the division in this country is getting to a point where it's virtually inescapable. I know from my own personal experience, every time I go on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, any social media really, I am constantly bombarded with political content in some form or another. And I'm sure many of you are as well. The content itself is not always inherently harmful. A lot of the time, it's people doing commentary videos, simply sharing their thoughts in a concise and informative way. But on the other side of things, I find that not everyone online, as well as in person, is so formal with their talking points and expresses their views in ways that are harmful. The prime example being the two assassination attempts at the time of this video's recording on the former president and Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. Attempts that have all occurred within a 2 month time frame. I never thought I'd see the day where I would have to make a video letting people know that political violence is unacceptable, but alas, here we are. No matter what your political affiliation is, I think it's important for us to acknowledge that while Donald Trump has been a controversial figure in American politics basically since the start of his political career, nothing he has said or done warrants an attempt on his life. Mind you, that's a sentiment coming from someone that's not even voting for him. Donald Trump has never been, nor will he ever be, the candidate that I would personally ever vote for, and this election cycle has not changed that. That being said, if Donald Trump loses this election in November, I want it to be because we as a country ultimately decided through our safe and fair electoral system that he was not the candidate for us, as opposed to him not becoming president because he was too dead to become president. Political violence is not only unacceptable, but I would say it's barbaric. To think that a country as advanced as the United States still has this kind of problem, political violence to this extreme, is something that has affected me in more ways than I'm able to talk about in a single video. But what I will say is that it gives an answer to the questions I've been asking myself a lot lately. The questions being, why do I need to make this video? What is my place in this conversation? Who am I to speak on this topic? And the answer is simply, I am a scared American citizen. I fear that things are going to get significantly worse before they ever start to get better, regardless of who wins. I hope I end up being wrong about this, but as of right now, there's really no doubt in my mind that no matter who wins this election, the division and violence in this country is going to reach new heights the moment the winner is decided. And I hate that that's even a possibility. I'm someone who wants to be more patriotic. I'm someone who wishes they could be more proud of not just their country, but also fellow citizens of that country. Joyful at the prospect that I live in what many people consider to be the greatest country in the world. Sadly, at this moment in time, I feel none of that. I've often wondered if maybe I'm just blowing my fears out of proportion and I'm just missing something that'll put my mind at ease. But then I see what's going on in the world and I realize that unfortunately my fears are, in fact, justified. And like with all my videos, what I would like to do now is pose what I believe to be a potential solution to the problem I've just discussed. I realize this issue is more complicated than the topics in my previous videos, but nevertheless, I feel that it's important to give my 2 cents in terms of what I believe should be done. I would like to take this time to speak to really all Americans and implore you to please, please, please stop with the violence and the hatred. No more assassination attempts and no more pointless fighting, especially within our own communities. Politics is important, but it's not worth the situation that we're in right now. We may not always agree with the opinions of those around us, but it's important to understand that while you don't necessarily have to like the opposing opinions or even respect them, even if they are objectively wrong, what you should do is accept that people are the way that they are. I understand that many people still fall victim to misinformation and disinformation, and we often feel that it's our duty to correct that, and in many ways, it is. But if you can't convince someone otherwise using just words, then physical violence isn't going to change anything. Physical altercations in this context do nothing more than further reinforce someone's opposing beliefs and, all in all, serves to solve absolutely nothing. If we're going to make actual change happen, then we need to do it the right way, and that would be to vote. If you're not already registered to vote, there will be a link in the description with all the resources you may need. Everything I've said thus far only means something if you go out and vote. To me, not voting only makes it so that if you don't make an effort to be part of the solution, then you have no right to complain about the problem, or whatever may come next. And since we're on the topic of voting, there's one last thing that I believe we should do in order to move forward the right way. And that would be to accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins. As I said before, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. If he wins, I'm not going to be happy about it. But I will accept the results of the election if he wins. If Kamala Harris wins, and I really hope that she does, I will also accept the results of the election. Quite happily, I should add, because she is the candidate that I am voting for. This system can't be rigged when the candidate I didn't want wins, and be safe and fair when the candidate I did want wins. The system is either safe and fair for everyone all of the time, or it's rigged for everyone all of the time. I firmly believe that there's really no in between. I also believe that for all of its imperfections, our electoral system works the way that it was designed to. And no matter what happens, we will see it work the day our next president is decided. So once again, I ask all my fellow Americans to please stop with the violence, stop with the hatred, and please stop with the division. It's time we move past that and get out there and vote, because no matter who wins this election, they're going to work for us. The presidency is a job that belongs to the American people. Whoever wins is just borrowing it for a little while until we want to give it to someone else. Everyone has a voice. Make sure yours is heard. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.